I was going to go ahead and read this article that was sent to me about the topic I'm about to discuss, but it's really only going to piggyback off of something that I kind of talked about in my live stream, but wasn't really able to go into full detail with. And that's the outrage, so-called outrage, involving Breonna Taylor and Kenneth Walker's pictures with this gun. Now, this was a picture that was put out there by God knows who was probably somebody who was on the opposite side of Breonna Taylor to try to incriminate her even further, as well as her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. Now, we all know that there's a very interesting history when it comes to the Second Amendment and black people, with firearms and everything like that. I remember a couple years ago on my Facebook page, I had made a post. I said, because I mainly had black people who are following me on there and friends on there, asking would they allow or would they take their child, if they had children, to the gun range. And it was a mixture of responses, but a lot of them were like no and everything like that. And I bet you if I was to go and ask that question right now, it would probably turn more into yeses than anything. Now, we in the community always say that black people need to own more firearms. They need to arm themselves. They need to stay strapped and everything like that. There was even a poll that came out this year saying that with everything that has been going on, that black people lead demographic wise as far as firearm owners, which actually just, made me feel great hearing that, because for so long, a lot of black people were scared to own a firearm, or they maybe couldn't own a firearm for whatever reason, or whatever the case may be. We just said, make sure you just go out there and you practice and that you train and, get efficient with your shooting and everything like that. But when it comes to the Second Amendment, there's always, like I said, there's always been a very huge disconnect with that particular amendment. Well, a lot of them for the most part, with the exception of the 13th Amendment and I think the 14th. But especially that second one when it came to black people. And the seeing of black people post pictures of themselves with a firearm or practicing and training with a firearm always sent a trigger to who almost all the time, like how this picture did here. But what they did was they leaked this picture. They put this picture out there to further incriminate her. Mind you, this woman has been dead since March, and it is now October, mid-October, and they're still going after her. Like, you gotta make you wonder why are they going after her so hard? They didn't even really do this with Sandra Bland, to be quite honest, at least not to my recollection. But they are going hard in the paint against her. But I think we all know why. It's because of who killed her. But what people have pointed out when it comes to this is the double standard and the hypocrisy when it comes to this picture. Not the fact that they put this picture out there to incriminate her so much, but it is, and him, honestly. But it's the fact that they do not go after PC when they're taking pictures with their firearms or, training and everything like that. They're trying to paint this picture that Breonna Taylor, first off, with the whole drugs and everything, but then they're trying to make it seem like they own these guns illegally when it's been reported and documented that Kenneth Walker is a licensed, legal firearm owner, which means he has those guns registered. He has all his paperwork to own those guns. It's not like he's going out here and using them just to use them. He used them in self-defense. But see, because it was these terrorists involved, he wasn't allowed in their eyes to defend himself. That's basically what they're saying. So basically, it's dog whistle language, but they say it in a subliminal tone. If cops come into your house unannounced and do a no-knock raid and you have a firearm, you better not grab it and just let them do to you what they want. So that means if they assault you, if they shoot you, if they kill you, you're supposed to just let it happen. That's basically what they're saying. But like I said, it's always been a very interesting history between that Second Amendment and black people. It always has been. And when I was scrolling through some of the article, I was seeing people post pictures of white people holding guns and posting it on the internet and retweeting, this picture and basically saying how it's a double standard, it's hypocrisy, that, they own these guns, that black people can own a firearm. But when we do, it's seen as wrong. But all we're doing is practicing our Second Amendment right. They're telling you right there that they don't really consider you much of a citizen. Because what it is they'll put these amendments and these laws out on the table. They'll use the laws that will get you and say that you're a citizen. Then, when they say stop resisting and comply and all of that stuff, but they don't comply and always resist. When it comes to that Second Amendment, they can have all the guns and all the firearms or what have you. We can't even own one. What they'll do is they'll do a full-on investigation to see if we even are legal to own those guns. And even if we are, they'll still find a way to incriminate. Look at what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. He crossed state lines illegally with that gun and is a minor. He's 17, unless he had a birthday where he just turned 18. But as far as we know, he's 17. But they're calling him a hero. They're making him out to be a martyr. But you have Breonna Taylor with her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who was legal to own those firearms. Oh, and she's a bad person. She deserved what she got. She was this, she was that. See what I'm talking about? The double standard is real. But like I said, this goes back to the disconnect that black people have had with that Second Amendment. But guess what? They can say all of that stuff that they want about black people and owning firearms, and they feel some type of way about it. They'll just have to feel some type of way about it, because black people still gonna go out there and get their firearms and tool up if they feel that they have to. Which in this climate, you should. Quite honestly, I have my HQL, which is my handgun qualifying license, and I've had it for a few years now. I've been to the range. Trust me, it's one of the most emancipating feelings you can have when you have a cold piece of steel between your hands and you can shoot downrange at a target and pull that trigger. And know that there's a good chance that one day you'll have to possibly use it. You probably hope that you don't have to, but just in case. But that's really all I have to say. Y'all let me know what you think.